Captain Alex Brennan, a dedicated officer known for his integrity, faces the ultimate test when confronted by Colonel Victor Nash, a man whose power and prejudice threaten to destroy careers and silence justice. Follow Alex's gripping journey as he calmly navigates escalating threats, from subtle harassment to aggressive sabotage. With unwavering determination, Alex fights strategically, meticulously documenting every incident, supported by brave allies willing to risk everything for truth and accountability. Experience the intense drama as hidden truths are exposed, leading to a climactic confrontation that shakes the very foundation of military leadership. Will justice prevail over systemic corruption? Can one officer's courage truly transform an entire institution? Do you believe Alex's stand was worth the risk? Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Captain Alex Brennan arrived precisely the morning sun breaking crisply over the horizon and illuminating the impeccable polish of his boots. His uniform, pressed meticulously, reflected his unwavering standards. Brennan's reputation preceded him, not just as an accomplished officer, but as a figure of measured calm and steadfast integrity. He approached every assignment, big or small, with a careful balance of professionalism and dignity. Today's agenda was straightforward: the quarterly military training seminar at Fort Mason. Such seminars, though routine, were crucial. They reinforced strategic understanding and maintained cohesion among the ranks. As Alex made his way toward the training hall, he felt a familiar sense of quiet anticipation. Each session was an opportunity to learn, share expertise, and reconnect with colleagues who respected his consistently fair approach. Entering the large auditorium, Alex immediately noted the familiar arrangements of chairs, neatly lined in precise rows, emblematic of military order. Officers from various units mingled in respectful conversation, voices subdued, conversations polite yet engaging. Alex greeted several fellow officers, exchanging brief pleasantries about training schedules, deployments, and even personal news, all delivered with friendly professionalism. "Captain Brennan," came a cheerful voice from his left, prompting Alex to turn with genuine warmth. Approaching him briskly was Major Sarah Collins. Sarah, a respected senior officer with a sharp mind, had been an ally since Alex's early days in the service. They had collaborated frequently, always with mutual respect and seamless teamwork. "Major Collins, it's always good to see you," Alex said warmly, extending his hand. "Likewise, Alex," Sarah replied with genuine friendliness, shaking his hand firmly. "Are you ready for today's excitement?" Alex smiled lightly, sensing the playful sarcasm in her voice. "Always ready. Let's hope the coffee matches your optimism." Sarah chuckled softly, but their moment was abruptly overshadowed by a distinct, dismissive cough. Both officers turned in unison, recognizing immediately the imposing figure who approached, Colonel Victor Nash. Tall, authoritative, and intimidating, Nash had a long-standing reputation for his rigid methods, and notably his prejudicial attitudes that were often overlooked or quietly ignored by higher-ups. "Captain Brennan," Nash greeted him with cool detachment, eyes narrowed slightly as if appraising something unpleasant. "I wasn't expecting you to show up today." Alex maintained perfect composure, meeting Nash's gaze without flinching. "Mandatory attendance, sir. I wouldn't miss it." A subtle yet unmistakably contemptuous smirk flickered briefly across Nash's face. "Of course. Even you must have some value in these meetings, I suppose." Without another word, Nash continued forward, leaving behind an uncomfortable silence. Sarah exchanged a concerned glance with Alex, a look that spoke volumes. Alex knew exactly what she was thinking. Nash's behavior wasn't simply dismissive, it signaled deeper issues, ones that Alex had encountered quietly throughout his career. "He never changes," Sarah muttered quietly, ensuring only Alex heard her. Alex nodded subtly, offering a composed smile to reassure her. "It's nothing new, Sarah. I'll manage." The seminar began precisely at 800 hours. Alex took detailed notes throughout, engaging actively in discussions on leadership and tactical updates. Yet despite his outward professionalism, he couldn't completely erase Nash's cutting remarks from his mind. They lingered quietly, unsettling reminders of biases hidden within the system he loyally served. Throughout the morning, Alex continued to participate fully, demonstrating the composed expertise for which he was known. Still, he remained alert to Nash's presence, mindful of potential undercurrents and unspoken tensions. Such vigilance had become second nature, a necessary trait shaped by years of navigating subtle prejudices within a system that prided itself on integrity and fairness. As midday approached, the seminar paused briefly for lunch. Alex joined Sarah and several other colleagues, their conversation easy and congenial, although he noted a slight unease among some whenever Nash's name was mentioned. It seemed Alex wasn't alone in sensing trouble beneath the colonel's authoritative veneer. When the afternoon session resumed, Alex doubled his efforts to remain entirely focused. Discussions grew more intense, covering delicate strategic considerations and upcoming exercises that required meticulous planning. Even so, he remained acutely aware of Nash's position at the back of the hall, watching with that penetrating gaze that seemed designed to unnerve. By late afternoon, the seminar concluded and participants began to disperse. As Alex gathered his belongings, Sarah approached him discreetly, concern evident in her voice. "Alex, please be careful," she advised quietly. "Nash isn't someone to take lightly. He knows exactly how to use his influence." "I appreciate the concern, Sarah," Alex responded firmly, eyes resolute. "Believe me, I'm cautious." Sarah nodded gently, satisfied yet clearly still uneasy. "Just remember, you're not alone. I'm here if you need support." "Thank you, Sarah. That means more than you know." As he stepped out into the late afternoon sun, Alex felt a renewed determination. Integrity, he knew, wasn't tested in comfortable moments. It was forged through confrontation, through trials like these. Alex Brennan was no stranger to adversity, but he sensed deeply that this situation would push him further than ever before. He exhaled slowly, walking purposefully toward his vehicle. His thoughts, focused and strategic, were already assessing potential risks, preparing for whatever battles lay ahead. This day was only the beginning of a fight for dignity, justice, and the integrity he had always vowed to uphold. 2 weeks had passed since the seminar at Fort Mason, and Captain Alex Brennan maintained his typical composure and professionalism, despite Colonel Nash's unsettling demeanor lingering in his mind. He had been meticulously documenting minor interactions and subtle hints of bias, aware that each small detail could later serve as critical evidence. Alex's routine returned swiftly to normal, filled with daily responsibilities, strategic meetings, and his duties overseeing a team of dedicated soldiers. Yet beneath this predictable facade, tension continued to simmer. Alex knew intuitively that Nash's words weren't casual or insignificant. They were a harbinger of deeper issues. Late one afternoon, Alex was reviewing reports in his office when a sudden knock interrupted his concentration. Looking up, he saw Sergeant James Kelsey, a reliable subordinate with a worried expression. "Captain Brennan, apologies for interrupting," Kelsey said hesitantly. "Colonel Nash requests your immediate presence in his office, sir." Alex nodded calmly, hiding his internal alarm. "Thank you, Sergeant, I'll be right there." As Kelsey left, Alex gathered his thoughts, mentally preparing for whatever awaited him. He calmly rose from his desk, taking a moment to straighten his uniform before heading down the corridor toward Nash's office. Arriving at the colonel's door, Alex knocked firmly, maintaining a neutral expression. A gruff voice called, "Come in." He entered confidently, observing Nash seated behind his large, imposing desk. The colonel looked up slowly, deliberately, eyes narrowing with undisguised disdain. "Sit, Brennan," Nash instructed curtly. Alex complied, maintaining his composed exterior despite the evident hostility. "Captain Brennan, I've received complaints regarding your interactions with subordinates," Nash began coldly, sliding a folder ominously across the desk. "Reports of inappropriate behavior." Surprised yet resolute, Alex replied clearly, "Colonel Nash, I assure you, I've conducted myself professionally at all times." Nash smirked cynically. "Professionally, several soldiers have expressed discomfort with your preferences. We have standards to uphold." "Sir, with respect, my private life has no bearing on my professional conduct," Alex responded firmly, sensing clearly where this conversation was headed. "Your personal choices undermine unit cohesion," Nash snapped, leaning forward intimidatingly. "You need to reconsider your position here, Captain, immediately." Alex knew a veiled threat when he heard one. He maintained unwavering eye contact, answering steadily, "Colonel, my commitment to this unit is absolute. My performance and evaluations consistently reflect that." Nash's jaw tightened visibly, frustration evident in his eyes. "Very well, Brennan, consider yourself formally warned, dismissed." Alex rose smoothly, saluting sharply despite his inner turmoil. "Sir." Returning to his office, Alex felt the weight of the confrontation settle deeply. He understood Nash's strategy, subtle accusations, attempts to undermine his credibility. Alex knew this was only the beginning and he had to act strategically. The next morning, Alex met quietly with Major Sarah Collins, seeking advice. Sarah listened intently, concerned but unsurprised. "Alex, we have to document everything," she advised carefully. "Every meeting, every conversation. We need precise records, official statements, and witness accounts. Nash won't stop unless we make it impossible for him." "I agree," Alex said calmly. "I've started gathering everything, but we'll need allies willing to support our case." Sarah nodded thoughtful. We can't rush. Nash has powerful friends and he's careful, but people respect you, Alex, that matters. We'll build our case meticulously, step by step. Days passed with Alex diligently recording every detail, brief encounters, hushed conversations in hallways, and subtle instances of discrimination from Nash and others influenced by him. His meticulous attention didn't go unnoticed. Colleagues who trusted Alex quietly began offering subtle support, whispers of encouragement, and private assurances of solidarity. However, Nash escalated his campaign. Alex increasingly found himself publicly challenged on trivial matters, small infractions exaggerated to highlight non-existent incompetence. Alex maintained his unshakable composure each time, aware that reactions would only feed Nash's narrative. One afternoon during a tactical briefing, Nash deliberately targeted Alex in front of numerous subordinates, questioning his judgment openly. "Captain Brennan, your suggested strategy appears reckless," Nash sneered openly. "I question your capability in this matter." Alex remained perfectly calm, responding crisply, "Colonel, my suggestion aligns with standard protocols and has proven successful previously. I welcome constructive feedback." A tense silence filled the room. Nash's face reddened, recognizing he'd failed to provoke an emotional reaction. Frustrated, he abruptly ended the meeting, leaving Alex in command of the room's uneasy atmosphere. As personnel dispersed, several soldiers approached Alex discreetly. Sergeant Kelsey, notably distressed, whispered, "Captain, we see what's happening. You're not alone." Alex appreciated this private reassurance, knowing each quiet word represented growing internal support. Nevertheless, he also recognized the precariousness of the situation. His career, reputation, and possibly personal safety hung in the balance, caught between Nash's authority and systemic prejudices deeply embedded within military culture. Returning home that evening, Alex confided in his spouse, Riley, revealing the increasing tensions at work. Riley listened supportively, offering reassurance and understanding. Their bond provided Alex critical emotional strength, reinforcing his resolve to endure and fight strategically. Alex knew he stood at a crossroads. The path ahead was fraught with difficulty, personal risk, and potential career jeopardy. Yet he saw clearly his responsibility, to himself, to those who supported him quietly, and to countless others in the military facing similar injustices silently. Determined more than ever, Alex prepared meticulously for the challenges he anticipated, recognizing this escalating conflict would test every ounce of his integrity, resilience, and strategic acumen. In the weeks following his confrontation with Colonel Nash, Captain Alex Brennan dedicated himself meticulously to building a detailed record of the escalating situation. Understanding the gravity of his circumstances, he adopted an even greater precision in recording every incident, conversation, and minor detail that might eventually form the backbone of his case. His office quickly became a hub of organized documentation. Neatly labeled files, date-stamped notes, discreetly recorded testimonies, and screenshots of emails filled his secure drawers. Each document represented a crucial piece of evidence, each carefully cataloged for maximum impact. Major Sarah Collins became a critical ally, regularly reviewing Alex's notes and discussing strategy. Sarah's experience and insight into military bureaucracy proved invaluable, guiding Alex through procedural channels he might otherwise overlook. One quiet afternoon, as Alex methodically reviewed his evidence, Sarah knocked gently before entering his office. Her expression was serious, reflecting the tense atmosphere surrounding them. "Alex," Sarah began softly, closing the door securely behind her. "We have to act carefully. Nash is escalating quickly, and I've heard whispers from upper command. He's preparing something major." Alex nodded thoughtfully, meeting her gaze calmly. "I anticipated that. His recent behavior suggests he's gearing up to make a decisive move against me. We must remain proactive." Sarah sighed, sitting across from him. "We need to secure testimonies from colleagues willing to go on record officially. I have a few names, but we must approach cautiously." "Who do you suggest?" Alex asked, pulling out a notepad. "Sergeant Kelsey, for one," Sarah replied immediately. "He's been clear in his support. Sergeant Maya Roberts and Lieutenant David Park have also expressed concerns about Nash privately. If they agree to provide official statements, their credibility would significantly bolster our case." "Agreed," Alex confirmed, writing their names down. "I'll speak with them discreetly." "They need to know the risks." Sarah nodded gravely. "Nash won't hesitate to retaliate, but I believe our colleagues understand what's at stake." Over the following days, Alex discreetly approached Kelsey, Roberts, and Park individually. Each meeting was held privately, cautiously, emphasizing the confidentiality and seriousness of their potential involvement. Each soldier listened attentively, fully aware of the risks yet committed to standing by Alex, whom they respected deeply. "Captain, I'm prepared to go on record." Sergeant Kelsey firmly assured Alex during their confidential conversation. It's the right thing to do, and we trust you completely. Similar affirmations came from Roberts and Park. Each soldier provided detailed signed statements describing their observations of Nash's discriminatory behavior, particularly emphasizing the targeted harassment Alex had faced. Their courage deeply moved Alex, reinforcing his determination. Yet Nash sensed something amiss, responding with increased hostility. Minor confrontations became more frequent, and Alex's daily duties grew increasingly challenging as Nash intensified his scrutiny. Nonetheless, Alex steadfastly refused to react emotionally, depriving Nash of the dramatic public confrontations he sought. Aware of the intensifying hostility, Alex focused even more diligently on documentation, extending his efforts to gather evidence about Nash's past interactions within the military. Quiet conversations uncovered a troubling pattern. Numerous previous complaints about Nash had mysteriously vanished, buried beneath layers of bureaucratic indifference or active suppression. The turning point came unexpectedly. One afternoon, Alex received a discreet communication from an anonymous source within personnel records. An encrypted USB drive delivered to his office contained scanned copies of multiple formal complaints against Nash dating back several years. Each complaint echoed disturbingly similar themes: overt prejudice, abusive language, and discriminatory behavior systematically ignored or dismissed. Realizing the magnitude of this discovery, Alex immediately secured copies and delivered the originals to Sarah for safekeeping. This could change everything, Sarah breathed, examining the documents carefully. If verified, this shows institutional complicity. We could force command to finally confront the systemic issues at play. Alex nodded solemnly, knowing the path forward required careful planning and flawless execution. We'll need expert verification, he stated decisively. Independent forensic analysis confirming authenticity is critical. Sarah agreed without hesitation. I know a civilian expert specializing in forensic document examination. He's discreet, reliable, and familiar with military procedures. I'll arrange a confidential consultation immediately. Days later, their forensic expert verified the authenticity of the documents, offering a formal affidavit attesting to their legitimacy. With credible evidence now secured, Alex and Sarah cautiously prepared their next step, formally submitting their findings through official channels, aware of the immediate reaction their actions would provoke. Yet as Alex meticulously planned, Nash struck again, this time attempting to tarnish Alex's reputation openly within a higher command meeting, accusing him falsely of negligence and professional incompetence. But Alex, fully prepared, calmly presented irrefutable documentation contradicting every accusation. The assembled officers watched intently as Nash stumbled, clearly unprepared for Alex's calm rebuttal. It was a small victory, but strategically significant, demonstrating clearly to others in attendance Nash's intent to discredit Alex maliciously. Captain Brennan, General Marcia Geller, a highly respected superior officer, spoke calmly afterward, her voice measured but clearly supportive. Your thoroughness is commendable. Continue to document carefully. Nash's conduct concerns us greatly. This quiet acknowledgement boosted Alex's morale profoundly, signaling that higher authorities were watching closely, aware of the unfolding crisis. Returning home that evening, Alex felt cautiously optimistic. Though battles remained ahead, his methodical, evidence-based approach had gained traction. With committed allies and carefully constructed strategies, he knew he was closer to exposing Nash's true nature, confronting systemic injustices, and ultimately securing justice. In the solitude of his home, Alex reflected deeply, knowing this conflict was far from over. Yet he drew strength from his integrity, meticulous preparation, and unwavering belief in justice, fully prepared for the arduous battles still to come. The situation intensified significantly following Captain Alex Brennan's successful counter to Colonel Nash's accusations during the command meeting. Alex's resilience had gained him critical respect among many officers who admired his professionalism, but it simultaneously deepened Nash's resolve to undermine him further. Each day at the base now felt like a delicate chess game, every interaction carefully observed by both supporters and detractors. Alex, however, remained unfazed, meticulously gathering additional evidence and quietly expanding his network of allies. With Major Sarah Collins's guidance, he diligently approached fellow officers and enlisted soldiers, securing their cautious support and discreetly collecting further testimonies. One evening after duty, Sergeant Maya Roberts approached Alex privately, her usually steady demeanor visibly tense. Captain Brennan, she began hesitantly, I thought you should know Colonel Nash is pressing enlisted personnel hard, trying to isolate you. He's suggesting those who associate with you risk their own careers. Alex listened intently, calmly absorbing her words before replying. "Thank you, Sergeant Roberts. I appreciate your courage in sharing this. Please continue to document any incidents you encounter. Your testimony is invaluable." Maya nodded decisively. "You have my full support, Captain, and many others quietly back you. We're ready to stand by your side." Feeling a sense of profound gratitude, Alex returned to his office, immediately updating Sarah on this development. Sarah, aware of the delicate nature of their strategy, suggested a meeting off base with trusted supporters to consolidate their approach. That weekend, a discreet gathering occurred at Sarah's home, including Alex, Sergeant Roberts, Sergeant Kelsey, Lieutenant Park, and even General Marcia Geller. Each individual recognized the gravity of their actions, fully aware of potential consequences. General Geller spoke first, her voice steady and commanding. "The evidence Captain Brennan has presented cannot be ignored. Nash represents a broader issue within our ranks, and addressing this is critical. But understand clearly, this fight will intensify before it improves. Nash has deep connections." Alex met her gaze respectfully. General Geller were prepared. "We've documented every interaction thoroughly, and additional evidence continues surfacing. Our strategic approach has been systematic." Lieutenant Park interjected calmly. "I've personally witnessed Nash pressuring lower ranks, and it's escalating rapidly. He's becoming careless, making it easier for us to document." Sarah nodded thoughtfully. "Precisely. Nash's growing recklessness is our advantage. Each misstep he makes strengthens our position, provided we remain methodical and composed." Their discussions continued late into the night, covering every contingency, potential counterattacks by Nash, and strategies for maintaining morale and confidentiality among their ranks. The group's commitment and careful planning reinforced Alex's confidence, knowing he had formidable allies united by integrity and shared resolve. The following week brought further challenges. Nash, sensing the growing solidarity around Alex, retaliated fiercely. Minor accusations spiraled into serious allegations, each designed explicitly to isolate Alex from his colleagues. Anonymous complaints surfaced, attempting to cast doubt on his capabilities and integrity. Each attack was methodically rebutted by Alex's carefully curated evidence. In every instance, his precise documentation invalidated Nash's claims, reinforcing Alex's credibility. Slowly but perceptibly, the narrative shifted in Alex's favor, frustrating Nash and forcing him to take more overt, desperate actions. One evening, Alex received an anonymous message on his private phone. "Careful, Brennan, Nash has people digging into your past, looking for anything to discredit you. Watch your back." Recognizing the escalating danger, Alex shared the warning immediately with Sarah. Together, they reinforced their security measures, preparing countermeasures for any potential smear campaigns. Trusting their careful preparation, Alex felt ready for whatever Nash attempted next. The tension peaked dramatically one morning during a routine unit briefing. Nash unexpectedly appeared, openly confronting Alex in front of a large assembly. "Captain Brennan," Nash sneered openly, voice loud enough for all present to hear. "It seems your attention to your duties is compromised. Care to explain recent allegations regarding misconduct?" Alex stood calmly, meeting Nash's gaze evenly. "Colonel, my conduct remains impeccable, as clearly evidenced by recent reviews. However, I'm prepared to address any formal accusations directly and transparently." Nash's face flushed angrily, realizing Alex's composure and transparency undermined his attempted ambush. "This matter isn't concluded, Brennan," Nash growled menacingly before storming from the room. Immediately afterward, several soldiers approached Alex quietly, reaffirming their unwavering support. Sergeant Kelsey's voice held quiet admiration. "Captain, your professionalism under pressure is inspiring. We're behind you." Alex acknowledged their support gratefully, reinforcing his resolve, yet privately he understood clearly the immense personal toll these confrontations were exacting. Each attack demanded mental and emotional resilience far beyond normal professional challenges. Later that evening at home, Alex shared the day's events candidly with Riley. Listening attentively, Riley offered steadfast emotional support, reinforcing Alex's courage and determination. Their conversation deeply reassured Alex, reminding him of the powerful strength derived from their relationship. "Alex," Riley encouraged warmly, "remember why you're fighting. You're standing for justice, integrity, and every person afraid to speak out. Your actions inspire others. Don't doubt yourself, no matter how difficult Nash makes things." Drawing renewed strength from Riley's words, Alex prepared himself mentally and emotionally for the next stage of this escalating conflict. He clearly understood Nash's increasing desperation signaled imminent pivotal confrontations ahead. Retreating to his home office, Alex once again reviewed his evidence meticulously, confirming every document, testimony, and record remained secure and impeccably organized. He recognized clearly that the coming days would decisively test his resilience and resolve. Yet, amid escalating tension, Alex Brennan felt unwavering confidence. Supported by steadfast allies, meticulous documentation, and unwavering principles, he stood prepared for the battles still ahead, battles he intended to confront directly, determined to achieve justice. The days following Colonel Nash's public confrontation grew increasingly tense, each moment laden with anticipation of the next aggressive move. Captain Alex Brennan remained resolutely calm, carefully maintaining meticulous records, knowing each new encounter could prove decisive. He understood clearly that Nash's desperate tactics would eventually expose deeper cracks in the system. The escalating hostility soon moved beyond mere verbal threats. One morning, as Alex arrived at the base, he noticed immediately something amiss. Approaching his vehicle, parked securely overnight, he discovered the tires slashed, the windshield shattered. The message was unmistakably clear. Intimidation had reached a new, troubling level. Undeterred, Alex quickly photographed the damage and documented the incident meticulously. He immediately reported it through formal channels, ensuring an official record existed. Each step he took was methodical, knowing any misstep would be exploited mercilessly by Nash. Sarah Collins arrived promptly after hearing about the incident, her concern evident. "Alex, this is serious. Nash or someone loyal to him clearly wants to scare you." "It's an escalation we expected," Alex responded calmly. "Every incident gives us more proof of Nash's desperation. He's losing control." As expected, Nash denied involvement vehemently, openly mocking the suggestion that he would stoop to such acts. Yet the unsettling event resonated through the base, quietly shifting sympathies further toward Alex. Colleagues who previously stayed neutral now discreetly signaled support, recognizing Nash's methods as increasingly erratic and dangerous. A few days later, another pivotal moment arrived unexpectedly. Sergeant Kelsey urgently requested a private meeting, clearly shaken. "Captain Brennan," he began, voice trembling slightly, "Colonel Nash is preparing something major. He's pressuring several soldiers to falsify accusations against you. He threatened them directly with career-ending consequences if they refuse." Alex listened carefully, maintaining his composed demeanor despite feeling inward alarm. "Sergeant, will those soldiers testify officially to this pressure?" "Yes, Captain," Kelsey confirmed immediately. "Several are willing despite Nash's threats." "Excellent," Alex replied, reassurance clear in his voice. "Please gather their testimonies carefully. We'll add them directly to our evidence file." Kelsey nodded firmly, determined. "We're with you, Captain. Nash can't silence everyone." This development significantly strengthened Alex's position. With multiple soldiers willing to formally report Nash's course of behavior, the scope of his misconduct became undeniable. Later that evening, Alex and Sarah convened at General Geller's office, presenting the newly acquired testimonies alongside Alex's comprehensive documentation. Geller examined the evidence methodically, her expression increasingly grave. "Captain Brennan," Geller spoke deliberately, eyes stern yet supportive, "your thoroughness is impressive. This evidence demands immediate action. However, we must prepare carefully for Nash's inevitable retaliation." "We're prepared, General," Alex replied confidently. "We anticipate Nash will attempt character assassination, possibly planting evidence or escalating threats further. Every move he's made, we've documented and anticipated." General Geller nodded approvingly. "Very well. I'll initiate an official inquiry immediately. Remain vigilant and document everything. The formal investigation will trigger strong reactions, and Nash will undoubtedly try to discredit you." Indeed, Nash's reaction was swift and aggressive. Anonymous accusations against Alex multiplied, becoming increasingly severe. Each was precisely calculated to tarnish Alex's impeccable record, but Alex and Sarah countered meticulously, disproving each allegation systematically. The investigation rapidly expanded, prompting deeper scrutiny into Nash's entire career. Soon, whispers surfaced within the ranks about Nash's past abuses of power, covered up systematically by those loyal to him. Anonymous tips flooded the investigation team, pointing toward further buried misconduct, each revelation creating broader awareness of systemic corruption. Throughout this chaotic period, Alex remained resolutely professional, publicly calm despite immense personal strain. Riley provided critical emotional support at home, ensuring Alex remained grounded amid escalating pressures. One afternoon, an anonymous whistleblower delivered critical evidence directly to Alex's office. Internal emails explicitly showing Nash's coordination to fabricate accusations against Alex. These emails revealed a wider network within the military complicit in shielding Nash's actions, clearly exposing institutional complicity. Recognizing their explosive significance, Alex immediately secured digital copies, handing the original evidence directly to General Geller, who swiftly incorporated the revelations into the official investigation. Geller's response was unequivocal. "This is exactly what we needed. Nash's credibility is collapsing rapidly. We must proceed immediately." The evidence quickly sparked a full-scale investigation involving multiple branches of military oversight. Each revelation intensified public and internal scrutiny, forcing senior command officials previously indifferent or dismissive of Nash's misconduct to confront uncomfortable truths openly. Nash, cornered by overwhelming evidence, responded with frantic desperation. His public outbursts became increasingly erratic, accusations wilder, threats openly hostile. Yet every reaction further undermined his remaining credibility, isolating him further. At home, Alex shared these developments candidly with Riley. "Nash is unraveling quickly," Alex explained quietly. "Every step forward brings us closer to systemic change, but the risk remains high." Riley reassured him firmly, "Your courage and meticulous approach are making this possible, Alex. The truth can't be suppressed indefinitely. Stay strong." Feeling profoundly supported, Alex reaffirmed his commitment, preparing mentally for the final confrontations approaching swiftly. Each meticulously documented incident, witness testimony, and verified piece of evidence brought him closer to achieving comprehensive justice. As investigations intensified, broader conversations emerged across the military base. Soldiers openly questioned long-held assumptions about leadership accountability, transparency, and fairness within their ranks. Alex's steadfast resolve catalyzed profound shifts in attitude and awareness, deeply resonating throughout the community. Despite significant personal cost, Alex recognized the immense importance of this moment. He was determined not merely to vindicate himself but to ensure lasting systemic reforms, providing justice for countless others previously silenced by fear or intimidation. He understood clearly the decisive moment approached rapidly, and he stood prepared, unwavering in his dedication to integrity, justice, and lasting institutional change. As the investigation intensified, Captain Alex Brennan knew a confrontation with Colonel Nash was imminent. The military base buzzed with quiet tension, each day bringing new rumors and revelations. Nash's once formidable influence was rapidly diminishing, leaving him isolated yet dangerously unpredictable. Alex meticulously prepared, ensuring every document, testimony, and piece of evidence was flawlessly organized for presentation. Major Sarah Collins remained at his side, a steadfast ally navigating intricate bureaucratic channels, ensuring nothing was overlooked. General Marcia Geller announced a formal hearing to review the mounting allegations against Nash, underscoring the seriousness of the situation. This public tribunal was unprecedented, signaling a significant shift in institutional accountability. The morning of the hearing arrived, bright but heavy with anticipation. Alex arrived early, calmly organizing his materials. Soldiers and officers filled the auditorium, quiet conversations reflecting both curiosity and concern. Nash entered shortly after, his usual confidence visibly shaken, replaced by barely concealed anxiety. General Geller opened proceedings formally, her authoritative voice clear and unwavering. "This hearing is convened to examine substantial allegations against Colonel Victor Nash, including abuse of authority, harassment, and attempts to falsify evidence against Captain Alex Brennan." Nash sat rigidly, face set in stern defiance. Alex maintained composure, meeting Nash's brief, hostile glance calmly, determinedly holding to the truth he had carefully documented. Sarah presented the evidence first, methodically outlining each incident, clearly linking Nash to escalating misconduct. Her presentation was precise, supported extensively by verified documentation and credible witness statements. The audience watched intently, visibly impacted by the systematic evidence. When Alex testified, his voice was steady, controlled, recounting each event clearly. He described Nash's initial subtle discrimination, escalating threats, and outright attempts at intimidation. Throughout, Alex's unwavering professionalism resonated deeply with those listening. Several witnesses followed, each recounting Nash's coercive tactics and aggressive behaviors. Sergeant Kelsey, Sergeant Roberts, and Lieutenant Park each testified, describing explicit threats Nash issued against their careers to secure false accusations against Alex. Their courage in speaking publicly was profound, further weakening Nash's already crumbling facade. Finally, General Geller presented the explosive evidence from internal emails, undeniably proving Nash's involvement in orchestrating a campaign to discredit Alex maliciously. The detailed presentation visibly stunned many in attendance, exposing a broader institutional complicity. Nash attempted a defense, his voice initially confident yet increasingly frantic under rigorous questioning. Each denial contradicted documented evidence, his composure unraveling rapidly, revealing desperation rather than strength. His aggressive outbursts and accusations further diminished his credibility, reinforcing the strength of Alex's meticulous case. As proceedings concluded for the day, General Geller spoke decisively. The evidence presented today demands immediate deliberation. This tribunal will reconvene tomorrow for final statements and judgment. That evening, Alex reflected quietly at home, emotionally drained yet resolutely proud of what had been accomplished. Riley, steadfast in support, gently reminded him of the profound significance of this battle. Your bravery is changing lives, Alex. This goes far beyond just you. Returning to the tribunal the following morning, Alex felt an intense yet steady resolve. The auditorium filled quickly, reflecting heightened anticipation. Nash appeared visibly exhausted, his demeanor lacking the previous day's defiance. General Geller's closing remarks resonated deeply. This tribunal has revealed not only Colonel Nash's misconduct but a systemic failure within our ranks. We owe Captain Brennan and every soldier a duty of fairness, accountability, and integrity. Colonel Nash, your actions violate everything we stand for. The tribunal's decision was unanimous and swift. Nash was immediately stripped of his command, rank, and privileges, pending further disciplinary actions. The announcement echoed through the silent auditorium, signaling unequivocally that justice had prevailed. Alex remained composed even as relief flooded through him. Nash exited without comment, his defeat absolute. Soldiers and officers approached Alex respectfully afterward, their expressions reflecting deep gratitude and admiration. Sergeant Roberts quietly expressed widespread sentiment. Captain Brennan, thank you. Your courage gave us all strength. General Geller approached last, shaking Alex's hand firmly. Captain, your dedication to justice and integrity is commendable. You've sparked necessary changes. Rest assured we will pursue comprehensive reforms vigorously. Leaving the auditorium, Alex felt profound satisfaction and relief. His meticulous preparation, unwavering integrity, and strategic patience had finally culminated in a powerful victory, not merely personal vindication but institutional accountability. Returning home, Alex embraced Riley warmly, silently acknowledging the emotional toll this journey had exacted. Riley's unwavering support had been essential throughout the ordeal. It's finally over, Alex whispered gratefully. Riley smiled warmly, gently correcting him. No, Alex, it's just beginning. You've opened doors for countless others, ensuring lasting change. Your strength has set a powerful example. Alex understood Riley's words deeply. This tribunal marked not only the end of his personal struggle but the beginning of broader institutional reform. His actions had illuminated issues long hidden beneath bureaucratic indifference, igniting widespread awareness and demanding comprehensive accountability. In the days following Nash's removal, meaningful conversations occurred across the base, exploring previously unspoken issues openly. Soldiers felt empowered to discuss fairness, accountability, and transparency candidly, creating momentum for sustained reform. Alex, though tired, was profoundly encouraged. He recognized clearly the deeper significance of his experience, knowing it had catalyzed a critical turning point in military culture. His commitment to meticulous documentation, strategic resilience, and unwavering integrity had reshaped perceptions profoundly. With renewed determination, Alex Brennan prepared for the ongoing effort ahead, strengthening institutional justice, fostering open accountability, and ensuring lasting reforms. The tribunal's climactic confrontation marked not only his personal victory, but a transformative moment for military integrity. The aftermath of Colonel Nash's tribunal resonated profoundly across the military community. Captain Alex Brennan found himself at the heart of a transformational moment, his courageous stand igniting widespread discussions about accountability, fairness, and transparency within the ranks. Days turned into weeks, yet the impact of the tribunal remained palpable. Soldiers previously hesitant to voice their experiences now felt empowered, openly sharing stories once confined to private whispers. Conversations unfolded throughout barracks, offices, and common areas, fostering an unprecedented atmosphere of openness and introspection. Alex, recognized widely for his unwavering integrity and meticulous preparation, found himself approached frequently by fellow service members expressing gratitude and seeking guidance. Despite initial discomfort with this heightened visibility, Alex embraced the opportunity to support others, offering strategic advice on documentation, reporting procedures, and navigating systemic hurdles. General Marcia Geller maintained close communication with Alex, actively involving him in the reform process. A task force was promptly established, dedicated explicitly to reviewing and restructuring policies related to harassment, discrimination, and accountability. Alex served as a key advisor, his firsthand experience proving invaluable. Meetings with the task force became a regular part of Alex's schedule, each session dedicated to analyzing existing protocols critically and recommending meaningful reforms. His voice, balanced and thoughtful, consistently emphasized accountability, transparency, and fairness as non-negotiable standards. One afternoon, during a task force session, Alex presented comprehensive recommendations carefully prepared alongside Major Sarah Collins. The proposal outlined specific measures to prevent harassment, strengthen reporting mechanisms, and protect whistleblowers unequivocally. Our objective is clear, Alex stated firmly. We must create a culture where integrity thrives, misconduct is swiftly addressed, and individuals feel genuinely supported. These recommendations aim not only to address past failures, but proactively ensure our future reflects our highest values. The assembled officers listened attentively, recognizing the profound legitimacy and urgency behind Alex's suggestions. General Geller expressed immediate support, pledging full institutional backing to implement these measures systematically. Sarah Collins, continuing her steadfast support, expanded her advocacy significantly, engaging actively in leadership training programs emphasizing ethical responsibility and institutional accountability. Together, Alex and Sarah became influential figures driving meaningful cultural shifts within military structures. Alex's commitment extended beyond formal channels, personally mentoring several younger officers, encouraging them toward professional growth centered on integrity, resilience, and meticulous documentation practices. His efforts created a network of future leaders dedicated explicitly to upholding the high standards Alex tirelessly advocated. Riley, observing the positive changes sparked by Alex's courage, expressed deep pride and continuous support. Their home became a sanctuary, providing Alex critical emotional renewal amid his demanding advocacy role. One evening, reflecting quietly together, Riley gently remarked, "Alex, your bravery changed more than the military, it's inspired countless people. The strength you showed during this ordeal created possibilities for genuine change, setting an example for everyone." Alex, humbled deeply by Riley's affirmation, responded thoughtfully, "This journey taught me profound lessons. Real justice demands persistence, strategy, and collective support. None of this would have been possible alone. Our collective strength made the difference." Over subsequent months, visible changes emerged across the base and broader military community. Enhanced training programs, clearer reporting protocols, and strengthened protections against retaliation quickly demonstrated their effectiveness. Soldiers expressed increased trust in their leaders and greater confidence in institutional responsiveness. Alex observed these shifts with cautious optimism, recognizing real progress while maintaining vigilance toward continued improvements. He understood deeply the necessity of sustained effort, aware that systemic change required relentless commitment, thorough oversight, and ongoing vigilance. In recognition of Alex's extraordinary contribution to military integrity and accountability, the base command officially honored him during a formal ceremony. Standing before colleagues and supporters, Alex accepted commendations graciously, dedicating the recognition explicitly to everyone whose courage and support enabled meaningful change. "This recognition belongs equally to all those who bravely stood alongside me," Alex addressed the gathering sincerely. "Together, we proved the strength of integrity, documentation, and collective support. We have set a powerful precedent. Let us continue building upon it." His heartfelt remarks resonated deeply, underscoring the collective responsibility toward fostering an ethical, supportive, and transparent military culture. Soldiers in attendance left profoundly inspired, recommitted to upholding the standards exemplified through Alex's extraordinary journey. Years later, Alex's influence remained profoundly evident throughout the military community. Policies implemented following Nash's tribunal effectively curtailed harassment incidents, established firm accountability standards, and fundamentally reshaped military culture toward genuine inclusivity and fairness. Alex Brennan continued advocating tirelessly, mentoring younger generations, reinforcing systemic reforms, and actively promoting ethical leadership across military branches. His meticulous approach and unwavering commitment to justice continued inspiring countless others, ensuring the legacy of his courageous stand endured deeply. Ultimately, Alex's experience transcended individual vindication, catalyzing lasting institutional transformation profoundly impacting countless lives. His journey exemplified the profound power inherent in resilience, integrity, strategic determination, and collective courage, Reflecting privately with Riley one quiet evening, Alex expressed profound gratitude. Looking back, every hardship endured feels worthwhile. The changes we've achieved, the culture we've helped foster, they're meaningful legacies we can feel deeply proud of. Riley, warmly supportive, affirmed gently, Alex, your actions reshaped an entire institution. Your legacy ensures future generations won't experience what you endured. You've transformed adversity into lasting positive change. Their quiet reflection underscored the profound significance of Alex's journey, reaffirming the powerful truth they had experienced deeply together. Real justice requires unwavering integrity, collective courage, meticulous preparation, and strategic persistence. Their shared realization reinforced the profound, enduring value of Alex's remarkable legacy.